So the Jets have done a lot of very interesting things today. The biggest one that they just did in the past few minutes is trading Elijah Moore to the Cleveland Browns, and I do think this could sort of impact the Packers-Jets trade according to now the capital that the Jets do have. But here it is from Adam Schefter. Trade: Jets are sending wide receiver Elijah Moore to the Cleveland Browns per source. Compensation: Jets are trading Elijah Moore and their third-round pick to the Browns for their second-round pick per source. So now the New York Jets have picks number 42 and 43 in the draft, which means they now have their first-round pick and 2 second-round picks, which is very interesting. They also recently, earlier in the day, signed Mecole Hardman to a new contract. They probably did that knowing they're about to trade Elijah Moore away, so they still have a lot of receiver weapons there. Garrett Wilson, Allen Lazard, now Mecole Hardman, Corey Davis. But now they do have 2 second-round picks instead of 1. And so when we look at a potential package that could go down between the Packers and the Jets, there has been that contemplation of, or that people wondering, what is that the package going to look like? And obviously up to this point, they haven't come to any agreement yet, or the trade would have happened. And so now, I think there are lots of things that this could mean. Maybe the Jets weren't willing to part ways with their first-round pick in 2023, which the Packers wanted, but now the Jets do have 2 second-round picks. So maybe the Packers would be willing to take 2 second-round picks for Aaron Rodgers instead of a first. I think that is a possibility. And if you think about that, if the Packers traded away Rodgers, they would then have a first-round pick, their current second-round pick, and then 2 more second-round picks, which would mean the Packers would have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, 3 picks in the second round, which would obviously very much help this Packers team. And it's not super late in the second round either. It's 42 and 43, so the first, 10, 11 picks of the second round, which is very interesting. I assume this has to do with the Rodgers trade. They have lots of weapons now. They signed Lazard. They still have Garrett Wilson, great rookie last year. They have Mecole Hardman now. They still have Corey Davis. And now they could trade their 2 seconds. Maybe, could the Packers still want to get the first-round pick and maybe a second, and they wanted to keep a second? Maybe. I feel like 2 seconds could make more sense because it seems like the Jets don't want to part with their first-round pick. But it's very interesting. I do think that we could see a trade happen sooner now. Maybe the Jets were just trying to get some more capital to appease the Packers and their needs, because I do think, as I've said on this channel, I think the Jets want to get this trade done as soon as possible just because they want to be able to have Aaron Rodgers, with the team, learning the offense, with all the other guys, sort of getting acclimated to each other. It would be much better for them to have it happen now than as opposed to, 2 months down the road. And before this happened, I've said that I believe the Packers do have the leverage just because if they wait till after the draft, they could save an additional $25 million in cap space if they trade Rodgers after June 1st. And if the Jets weren't willing to trade, some good capital, might as well say, okay, we won't make a trade before the draft. Just give us your solid 2024 picks. But I do think this is going to mean the trade could happen a lot sooner with this draft capital the Jets now have. Who knows? Maybe a trade gets done today, and this was the final move the Jets needed to make to have that capital to trade Rodgers or to trade for Rodgers. Maybe not. We'll see what happens, but that is the news that I think is pretty important for both the Packers and the Jets as we sort of await what trade is going to happen. So I'll keep you guys updated. If any news happens, I'll cover on this channel, so stay tuned. Feel free to subscribe. I put out Packers news on this channel. I will be covering everything Rodgers, Jets related if something goes down. So stay tuned, turn on the post notifications so you do not miss any news, and I'll see you guys next time.